Good morning, Year 4. I hope you're all safe and well, and welcome to Year 4 Spellings for this week. Now, what we're looking at doing over the next few weeks, we're going to try and run our spelling sessions similarly to the way we would have done in school, although when it comes to the spelling activities, what we're going to do is to give you one a day. So we'll introduce the spellings today, we'll give you a small task today, and then during the course of the rest of the week, I'll drop a different spelling activity into Microsoft Teams for you all to complete. What we probably then do on a Friday is then we will give you your normal weekly spellings as if you were at school, and then you'll have a week to learn them, and then we'll get them tested at the end of the following week. This week we're focusing on homophones and near homophones. Now, we talked about homophones a little bit before Christmas. Homophones, or a homophone, is the word can be broken up into two sections. The word homo means same, and the word phones means sound. So in this case, the words are have either got the same sound or nearly the same sound. So as the slide says, this week we're going to look at some of the most commonly misused or misspelt words in the English dictionary. What I want you to do, I'm going to ask you to look at what's written on the paper here, piece of paper, and I want you to look and see whether or not there's something that might be incorrect there. And if there is, could you have a little think about what might be wrong? If you press pause now and play when you're ready to continue. Okay, welcome back. So the sentence itself says, "It would be my great pleasure to accept your very kind invitation. See you there." Now, the problem we've got here with this is that the word accept has been incorrectly used. And if I draw this to one side here, you can see here that we have two homophones, one that is accept, one that is accept. This one here, accept, should be the word that's used in this sentence here. These two homophones will form part of your spellings this week. Similarly, we've got a weather forecast here, and the weather forecaster is saying tomorrow's weather will be a mixture of sunshine and showers. Again, I want you to have a little look at that sentence, try and tell me what's wrong with the sentence, which word is spelled incorrectly. Press pause when you are thinking about it, and press play when you're ready to carry on. Okay, well, you can see up there, we've got the word weather has been used. Now, weather is a homophone, and if I draw back the screen shade here, you can see both homophones here, weather and weather. Now, this is the one that's been used in the sentence, but in this case, when we're talking about the weather, when we're talking about the sun, showers, snow, ice, that kind of thing, that's the weather that should be used in that sentence. Again, these two will be both in your spellings for this week. Okay, the next sentence here, we've got something slightly different. We want you to have a little think about which one of these two words should go into the gap here. So we're looking at either affect or effect. Okay, one is a verb, one is a noun. The sentence then, global warming is having a damaging on our planet. I'd like you to think about which one might fit into that gap. Okay, they are both homophones. Press pause when you're having a look, press play when you're ready to carry on. Okay, so both words sound exactly the same, however, they are not both the same. You cannot use both of them in that place. In this case, we are looking at the word effect. Okay, effect would fit into the gap here. Global warming is having a damaging effect on our planet. If you were talking about nouns and verbs, this one would be a noun. Okay, so the damaging effect, the effect is the noun. Affect, if you're trying to affect something, then you would be using it as a verb. Okay, both again will be in your spelling lists for this week, but you do need to know which one is which. Okay, this one's always a favourite because if we have this in spelling tests, most of you spell them correctly. I don't have a problem with it at all. You're pretty good at spelling these words. However, when it comes to using them in your writing, even the best writers of you do make mistakes with these two words. You can see we've got allowed and allowed. So they both sound exactly the same, but spelt differently. And they both have different meanings. The sentence here, because of the mean things Zoe had said, she wasn't on the school visit. Press pause when you are having a little think about this and press play when you're ready to come back and listen to the answer. Okay, in this case, allowed, and you can see that the root word there is loud, is to do with volume. Well, that wouldn't fit in this sentence here, okay, because this isn't talking about how loud something is. What we would need to have in there is this one here, allowed, okay. Again, this one is a verb, that one would be noun, okay. So Zoe had said she wasn't allowed on the school visit. The verb would fit into there. It would be this word here. Now the final one is my favourite for this week. Whose or whose? Okay, we do tend to have a few problems with this one right through the school and right through our class. And we didn't have a slide for this one, so I've made up a couple of sentences. And we've got two sentences here, and what I want you to do is to press pause in a moment and try and work out which of these words fits into which gap. Okay, one of them will fit into one of them will fit into the other. So press pause now and press play when you're ready to come back. Okay, so the first sentence, Mr. Nugent nose was rather large, sniffed the cake. And the second one, Miss Flukes, the coolest teacher, enjoys teaching Treasure Island. Okay, so the two words that fit into here, whose, this one here would go into here because it is linked to Mr. Nugent. Okay, and the second one here, whose, is a shortened, a contracted version of who is. And if we were to write who is into this gap, it would still make sense. Miss Flukes, who is the coolest teacher, or who's the coolest teacher, enjoys teaching Treasure Island. And here you have the answers. I've put them into the gaps here so that you can clearly see which fit in the best. So we've talked through our 10 spellings for this week, our homophone spellings for this week. These are the words that we'll work on every day this week. What I want you to do is to have a little look at them. You're going to be using them a lot. And what I'm going to ask you to do for your independent task for this afternoon is I'd like you to have a look at the list of spellings. I'd like you to choose one of the homophones from each pair. So I don't want you to do all of them, just one from each pair. I would like you to put it into a sentence using the word correctly. So you need to know what the words mean. I'd like you to write each sentence into your book. And some of you, if you're feeling really confident, might want to add a frontal adverbial phrase to your sentence. And if you do, don't forget the comma. We talked about that a lot this year. Okay, so I'm going to leave you there with it. Please feel free to share a picture of your spelling sentences if you wish to. It'd be great if you could, because I can have a look at it. And if there are any that are not quite right, or there's something that's not quite right, I can always talk to you about it or give you some feedback. And apart from that, we'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's spelling task. Thanks a lot then. Bye-bye.